Welcome to another episode of Technical Earth Syndicate, where we inspire, inform, and entertain you. I'm Chris Stewart.
And I'm Michael Buffington.
And here we are at episode 25.
Yep. I felt like that little intro for me was kind of fun. Hey, how's it going? How you doing? Welcome to our podcast. Yes.
Well, we got an exciting show today. They announced our...
No, we don't.
Yeah, we do.
No, we don't. No, we don't.
I'm kind of excited.
I'm going to talk about what I've been doing first.
What have you been doing?
A whole lot of nothing. Well, we've been uploading a bunch of gameplay videos on YouTube. Well, I have anyway.
Mostly you have, yeah.
Yeah. Hint, someone needs to do some more, huh?
Yeah. I haven't had a whole lot of time.
And if you guys missed it, we got that Harlem Shake Technical Earth Syndicate edition on YouTube. I don't know whether you want to...
There's some weirdo in a Boba Fett helmet in there. It's kind of weird.
I'll give you a hint. It's Chris Stewart. It's pretty funny. Check it out. It really means nothing. If you hate the Harlem Shake, then watch it anyway, so you can say, wow, those TES guys really are horrible. No, I got my Wii U back. I mean, I think the last episode I said that, I was just getting it back, or I was about to get it back or something.
Yeah, I think you just sent it off, actually, or you were about to. Yeah,
or it was around the same time I sent it off, whatever. Yeah. But yeah, I've been playing that, and I picked up, I picked up a bunch of different games on Steam and everything like that. I don't know what I've been really doing. Finally got you a copy of Minecraft, so we can start playing that.
Yeah, pretty excited about it. Yeah. So has the Wii been working out a little better, or?
Oh yeah, and actually, I don't know if their browsers have been upgraded or something, but Miiverse is working a lot faster, and so is the eShop. Going in and out of the applications that use bandwidth, such as Netflix or Hulu or something like that, actually boots in and out pretty fast now. I don't know if they just updated their servers capacity or something. I don't know, but yeah. It seems like it's more based off of that, because I know my Apple TV, it's based off of, it's kind of like a cloud server hosting the YouTube and Hulu accounts on there. It's not actually embedded into the Apple TV. It's like You have to be online to use it. So,
yeah.
So I'm wondering if it's like that. But I've noticed it was a lot faster, no disconnection issues. So I'm really thankful for that. They fixed it. Apparently they fixed 2 parts, one in the Wii U and one in the gamepad. So
that's good.
It cost a lot of money if I would have had to pay for it. It was it was almost the cost of the Wii U itself.
Wow.
I almost thought they were replacing it, but they didn't. They just replaced some parts. I think it was some major component parts that were broke. So
cool. And they didn't charge you anything for shipping or none of that?
Nope, all free. So, and they also boosted up my warranty another year from earlier this month. So
that's good.
I got it.
That's the same thing that Microsoft was doing when all their Xboxes were crapping out. So I think they might still be doing that. If you get a red ring, you can send it in. I'm not sure though.
I think my Xbox right now, it's slowly breaking. I think it's already past due on the 2-year warranty or 1-year warranty, whatever it is. But
anyway, big show tonight. We got PS4 surprising absolutely nobody.
PS4 discussion. Yeah. We have a lot of info. So
also, we're talking about building computers. Need to educate some people on this. No reviews this time, but we've also got standard TES news, gaming tech, what have you. So stay tuned.
Commencing Operation Topic Attack.
Well, today we're recording this on Wednesday this week, and on February 20th, and we'll be releasing this episode on Friday. So,
yep.
Sony just did their big announcement. We already knew it was PS4.
Yep.
And were you surprised?
I was hoping for PSP2, to be honest.
PSP2? Well, we got the PS Vita, man.
It's a Vita.
A Vita? It's that thing 5 people have.
Oh,
The running joke of the show. I still want a Vita though.
Yeah. Well, maybe
Anyway,
we'll have a reason to get one now.
we got a lot to discuss on for the PS4. They came out and they pretty much kind of just beat around the bush in their little conference at first, and they're like, "Yeah, we're making a PS4," and everyone's like, okay." And they kind of gave us a rundown of the specs, and a lot of the specs are still unknown, like exactly what the processor does, and it kind of worries me because Nintendo did the same thing, but there was leaked information of the dev kit and everything. Like the CPU is going to be x86 processor, unknown specs from their side, but apparently it's a eight core processor, I think at 1.7 gigahertz. I don't really know those facts on that, and that's just rumored anyway. But eight processors for the most part, and the GPU, which would be the video card for it, which would probably be a video chip, is all they really have the information for is high end gaming, GPU, and it makes me wonder if it's a possibility of a lower end card, but still high end to render and play video games that look PC quality today.
Yeah.
So, is the GPU as powerful as the newest what's 690 card? GeForce 690 card? Probably not.
No, I've read that people are kind of comparing it to the 660.
Yeah.
So,
which little low end. I got a 660 Ti, but I still think it might be a little bit lower. I think they might be using ATI Radeon stuff. So
yeah,
I'm not really too sure.
They also confirmed they have 8 gigs of unified memory, which is pretty good. I just put 8 gigs on my computer, so that's pretty fun.
Yeah.
Yeah, and they haven't said anything about the hard drive, how much space it has.
But they did say that it's going to be with a hard drive just like the PS3 had. So
right.
Let's hope it's high end, like a terabyte maybe. That would be nice because terabytes are very cheap on PC, honestly. So
yeah, I'm thinking. Let's see. What is the highest gig they have now for the PS3? Isn't it like
I think you can
like 80
go
or
up
something
to,
like that?
What, 80?
Or is it higher than that?
No. It's like wow, I don't even know, 200 and something. Just like the Xbox is like 200 and something. So
yeah, I'm thinking they'll probably start out at maybe 200 or so, and then have other higher models like maybe up to 500.
Yeah, I mean, I got 500 gigs in my PS3 right now, just because I took out a laptop hard drive, and maybe they'll let you do that with this one as well. Maybe it's just laptop hard drives.
Yeah, that's something I'm kind of concerned about. I'm hoping that they'll still be able to do that because, the ones that they give you, or the one that they did give you with the PS3, just were woefully insufficient. So,
all right. Well, they gave us the specs, but they didn't really give us what the PS4 looked like or anything. They gave us what a controller looks like. It's a DualShock 4. Go figure.
Yeah.
It's almost like a PlayStation 3 controller, but it seems like it's a little bit wider. The grips maybe are a little bit better, and the joysticks, they were talking about that a tad bit. Main feature on it though is they have a touchpad on it. I guess for some kind of like the Ouya. They have a little touchpad on there. That's what it kind of reminds me of.
Well, it's like the like what's on the back of the Vita. It's pretty much the exact same thing.
Oh, okay, I see.
Yeah. If you've seen the leaked pictures of the prototype controller, it's basically that.
Okay, and then they had a share button apparently, and we'll talk about that in a little bit. You press and it shares something on your PS4, and we'll talk about that in a little bit. Has a headphone jack, so I'm assuming you can either use voice chat or do like what you can do with the Wii U, and plug in a pair of headphones and just play and not have to bother anybody on the TV.
Which is awesome, because that really bugged me with the PS3 controller. You couldn't really do anything with headphones.
Right.
Yeah.
And then there is a new camera that's going to be added to it. It's pretty much like the PlayStation Move iCam, but I think it's an HD upgrade, because the iCam or whatever for Sony's their old stuff used the Move technology, but it wasn't HD quality, the camera itself.
Yeah.
But that's going to be coming along with the controller as well, and the controller has like this little blue light, kind of like the Move, and I'm thinking you have to do something with the camera with the controller, like it has some kind of like little move support with it or something like that. That's what I was gathering from. They really didn't elaborate on it, honestly.
Yeah. The new camera kind of looks like a Kinect, sort of.
It does.
Yeah.
Sad to say, but it seems like it's going to be still a big part of their little Move controllers, which we both got on the PlayStation 3.
Yeah, and I'm pretty sure those Move controllers are going to be compatible with the new camera as well.
Yeah, I'm guessing so, since it's just using light technology and everything like that. But they start talking about, on what the functions are, and they were kind of just like dumping, they were overwhelming everybody, I think, with information, and they're just giving little bits and pieces of everything this thing can do. And they had suspend mode. And how many times have you been sitting there on the couch and you're like, oh crap, I got to run to a doctor's appointment, or I have to go to work, and you have to find a save point in a game, right?
Yeah, well, too many times. We were actually talking about this just last night, I think.
Yeah, we were, and this will come into a discussion later on next podcast. But they're adding a suspend mode where I can just power off my PlayStation, just like didn't the Vita do this in the PSP?
I think the PSP had like a sleep mode.
Yeah, it was kind of like a sleep mode, right?
Yeah.
And I'm guessing this is kind of like the same thing, because I'm pretty sure if you unplugged your console, or if the power went out, you would, the suspend mode would go away. But pretty much you can start up your game right where you left off, and that's pretty fantastic.
Yeah, and that's where the 8 gigs of RAM comes in. It saves your game like exactly where you are and backs it up on the RAM, so that when you pick it up again, you're exactly where you left off.
Which is fantastic.
Yeah.
They also did a custom chip for background processing, such as downloading, I guess watching videos too or something, but mostly downloading. They were saying because on the old PlayStation 3, it was using the same chip. And what it was basically doing is when you were downloading and trying to play a game, it was kind of bottlenecking it. It was slow, very slow. And this way, it's a lot more fast, and basically it does everything in the background on a different processing chip. So you can still game and have no issues, Yeah,
I'm thinking this will probably come into play with like streaming videos too on like Netflix and stuff, because you can't really download a game or what have you and be watching Netflix at the same time. Doesn't it actually stop the download if you're trying to do that? Yeah, it does. And I guess if you had a really good bandwidth, you could do both like that with, because it's using a different processor. And this also comes into the fact that you're going to be able to play, it's going to use this chip plus your regular CPU and GPU in the PlayStation 4. You can download digital games and play them while they're downloading. So like, you have 5 gigabytes downloaded about a 20 gigabyte game that you're downloading on PlayStation. You can play they're going to download the first section of that game for you so you can play it. Yeah. And I'm guessing it's going to be using that secondary processor to do that as well. So you're not really having any issues with the game console. Yeah, that was one of the big things I thought was really cool about it. Basically, the moment you buy the game, you can start playing it, and it'll download the rest of the game in the background. Right. Pretty cool stuff. And then they were just slamming us with information. And then they were jumping ship to another stuff. They were like, and you can also now record. But wait, there's more. Yeah, there's more. This thing can open a can, feed your dog, feed your cat. No, it can record gameplay videos and upload them to YouTube and the PlayStation servers and stuff like that, which is really awesome. And us being a podcast and we do a lot of game records, we might not even need a game recording device. We can actually record let's say we're playing Watch Dogs or some co-op game, like a fighting game or something like that. And we can record our sessions of Chris and I playing or something like that and upload it to YouTube, and you guys can watch it. I mean, that gives so much of an option for, oh, look at that moment. Look what I did right there. And you can go back and review your videos and upload what you want. It's really cool. Yeah. And you can also have people watching live as you play it. Yeah, kind of like was it Twitch? Yeah. Twitch, yeah. And all those little live streaming
sites and everything like that do your games. But I'll talk about something in a little bit after we discuss a little bit more that I'm a little afraid of how much bandwidth we're all using. But Sony also kind of did a social network where they're integrating like normal social networks. Like they were just bluntly saying Facebook because everyone uses Facebook, you know.
Pretty much, yeah.
And probably Twitter and some other ones, and maybe Google Plus. We'll see. But basically, they said they're going to be doing that with also their own social network. You know, like their own little gaming pages for yourself. You know, and
Definitely not like Miiverse at all.
No, definitely not. But it's going to be pretty cool. I didn't see anything saying that we're going to have like little message boards or anything. So I guess it's still, you know, its own little unique thing, but I could see that happening. Also, smartphone, tablet, social support. Apparently you can watch your friends' videos or what they're playing on your tablet and computers and stuff like that. And then also they're talking about personalization of your PS4. Like it actually starts to recognize what you like and, oh, you've played this many RPGs. Maybe I should recommend this to you. You know, that kind of stuff. So that's what they pretty much went over what the system can do. And it was it was a lot of information to take. And also it led us to more questions to be asked for Sony. And I guess we'll get those at E3. But
yeah, probably.
But the one thing that I'm a little worried about that they seem to be doing, like they said, oh yeah, you're going to be downloading digital games and everything like that. It leads me to believe this is going to be a digital only system like the Vita, and I think they're taking notes from Steam and PC gaming. A lot of people just prefer digital games, and there's a lot of people that still prefer hard copies. But I think they're doing away with that with Sony. Honestly,
yeah.
They gave no indication that we're going to be getting disc copies, and I could be wrong, and because they still haven't shown off the console, and maybe they'll. I do see a future of them not letting rental games. Like once you buy a game, you're going to be installing it and entering your code. You know, that's all I see it.
I really hope it doesn't turn out that way, though.
It's turning. It's definitely turning into that, and. A lot of people are kicking and screaming into it, and it's going to be a big shock for the console gamers because I've been doing this for 10 plus years on PC gaming, and I know Chris doesn't want this. I'm used to it. I do still prefer not digital, but physical copies on consoles. On the Wii U, I want to buy digital games, but there's also the fact that. Like I don't really want to because of storage. I need to buy another external hard drive, and that's kind of why I've held off from it. Also, the fact that my Wii U breaks, I might not get my stuff back right now.
Yeah. I don't know. To me, it's kind of different for PC because most of those games are digital. I mean, you can still buy some games in the stores, but consoles are mainly, priority one. They're a physical disc kind of thing, and so for them to just go away from the physical disc completely, it would not really so much to go away from that, but to lock them out for like one disc per console or whatever. It not that I really give a crap about GameStop, but like services like GameFly, they're not going to be able to have the PS4 games on there if they go in that direction.
But this also comes into our next topic. Before we go into that, the main reason I was going into all the digital downloads and stuff like that was bandwidth issues. A lot of companies, such as your cable companies for your internet, put caps on your internet. So what's going to happen with that when you're live streaming and recording games and uploading and downloading digital games and just fully utilizing online mode even more so than we used to with our old consoles? What's going to happen with our bandwidth for our providers? Are we going to end up having to pay more for our providers?
Probably.
Or are we going to have to? and that's what's these data caps are stupid. Honestly, they shouldn't be there. But that kind of worries me on how hardcore they're going into the internet for this system. What you're going to be doing. Cloud gaming. You were talking about GameFly, right?
Yeah.
Well, GameFly will just if that company, I like GameFly, but they were talking about doing streaming video games at one point. I don't know if they're still doing that, but with the cloud gaming such as Gaikai on the PS3 or PS4, sorry, that are talking about that are putting Gaikai where you can be streaming your games and stuff like that nonstop. Yeah. And if you've ever messed around with that on PC, they had some demos you can play. Like I think Origin uses Gaikai for demos and stuff like that. You can test out, you know, a gameplay, and it's actually pretty good quality for low bandwidth, even. You know. Yeah. But what if GameFly, you know, put something out there where you can stream your video games? You know, because that's where it's almost sounding like when they're talking about you can download your games and, you know, play them streaming on Gaikai as well. And it almost sounds like they're kind of leading in that direction where maybe if you want to rent a game for a couple days, you're going to be streaming it, you know?
Yeah, that could be interesting.
And so it doesn't really cut out anybody except for companies that don't want to move on with tradition, I guess. And right. And it would kill some of those companies. It is going to, if they go on a whole no trade-in games or anything like that, GameStop is going to hurt, but they are going to be able to still sell game codes and hardware and I guess disc copies of games, you know, but they won't make much profit off of used stuff.
And it won't. GameStop definitely is not going to go out of business within the next week that the PS4 comes out, because they're still going to have, you know, previous generations. I think only. Wasn't it just last year they finally stopped selling like GameCube games? I'm pretty sure they're still selling like Game Boy Advance games, and so. No,
well, I think they've been slowly getting rid of stuff. But yeah, I think last year or the last couple of years they stopped selling GameCube, and then PlayStation 2 is on its way out right now. But for selling there, but yeah, I don't think they're gonna hurt. It is, and as for the mom and pop stores that are specialized in video games, which, you know, for trade and everything, that will hurt them. I know, but yeah, most mom and pop stores don't just specialize just on video games. They do other stuff as well, their stores as well, and everything like that. It's not going to be a huge blow. And a lot of people are mad about it. I know they are. But what if they offered you streaming services and rental services like that? I mean, I'd pay $5 to rent this game for a couple days or a night or something like that, just like Blockbuster used to do, or some of those other ones, you know. GameFly could get on this easy by doing digital rentals and stuff like that. That'd be a fantastic partnership, you know.
Yeah, it really would.
But they would have to make sure they did a partnership with all the companies that did that, you know. Yeah. They still got the Wii U. The Wii U hasn't, you know, locked out people's disc. And as far as I can tell, I don't know if Xbox is doing it, but there's rumors. We'll see. That's another thing. We just got to wait for E3. But yeah, Chris, why don't you go into also the little bit of the butt end of the cloud gaming section that they had to kind of go in with the Gaikai stuff.
Oh, it was so much cool stuff they were talking about. Like we said earlier, you can stream your gameplay live and have other people watching, and they do that via Ustream, which is kind of odd. You would think that Twitch, being the more popular streaming thing, they would go with that, but they're going with Ustream, and you'll be able to have a little chat feed on the side of the screen where people are going to be, you know, posting comments and, you know, hey, do this, or, you know, you suck at this game, that kind of thing. But if you're stuck in a game, I thought that was kind of cool. You can ask for help, or you can have somebody actually take over for you and play this part of the game.
Like, yeah, I can, like, I'm stuck at a part which happens to me a lot in video games sometimes because I suck. No,
true facts.
I can ask Chris, you know, I can invite him to my my feed and say, hey man, can you beat this level for me? I can't get past these jumps on this stupid platform game. And you know, Chris can master it for me, and I'll be like, yay, thanks, and then I'll, you know, cut him off.
Can't play. I want to do this, anymore. And then when I start playing, I'll be like, assuming direct control.
Not only that, they're going to be doing remote play with the Vita.
Yeah.
Kind of like the Wii U with the gamepad, except that it's going to be done off, like, I think Gaikai. I think they said majority of it was going to be done off Gaikai. A big part of the cloud gaming feature is going to be Gaikai, which is it is fantastic. But as long as you have the bandwidth, and that's another, like I said before, bandwidth issue with caps and stuff like that could really take out the system, you know, with fan base, you know. Me, I don't have great internet, so I don't know how I would do any of this cloud gaming. So
Well, I'm not sure the Vita thing will be over Gaikai. I think it'll probably be like over Bluetooth or whatever the Wii U kind of has.
I think they said something like that, but the guy from Gaikai was talking about it.
Right.
Gaikai will be available for the Vita as well. So.
Yeah. I'm just saying though, like the way he was talking about it was, you're playing a game on your TV, and then the kids want to take over, and so you just kind of switch over to the Vita and pick up where you left off, kind of like on Wii U. So
I've heard of this. Yeah, the Wii U. Yeah, that's man. Yeah. No, I mean they've done remote play before with PlayStation 1 games, I think, or something. They did some. I think if you had a Vita, you could do some games remote play. I think. Yeah,
I know there was a couple of games. I think the Metal Gear HD collection, you could do that. They had the transferring or whatever it was called, where you could kind of just pick up on the Vita where you left off on the
something
on the console.
Like that.
So yeah.
But this kind of takes out the middleman of the fact that you don't have to buy 2 copies of a game. So
yeah, their plan is to make all PS4 games playable on the Vita. So hopefully that'll pan out and actually be a thing.
I might pick up a Vita if that's the case.
Yeah.
But then again, I'll have too many little mobile systems around.
Who doesn't these days?
Yeah. Media, they didn't really elaborate too much on media. They just gave a wide amount of services, just like Xbox Live has and PlayStation originally had for PS3. Netflix, Hulu, and so on, Amazon Prime, and everything like that. So there's nothing special about that. They didn't really elaborate if they're going to be putting their own little media thing like they did on PlayStation 3, but I'm assuming they did. They will. Like, you can do your own Windows media server on the PlayStation. Hopefully it works better, honestly.
Yeah.
PlayStation 3 has a hard time playing MKVs and stuff like that. So
yeah.
And then they kind of just were, talking about all the stuff that this is going to be doing. And then they started diving into games. Chris, why don't you go ahead with the games?
Yeah, they showed off one game called Knack, which looked pretty interesting. It had was it some weird little creature made of blocks or something? But he was able to gather a whole bunch of other little blocks and make himself into like a big creature and run around and kill things.
It looked fun.
Yeah,
for the most part.
The graphics looked pretty good. It looked like a DreamWorks movie or something.
Right.
So, interesting stuff. They also showed off the new Killzone game.
Oh man, I was thinking it was just gonna be Killzone 3, but they labeled it Killzone Shadowfall, and honestly, that was the best looking game of their little lineup for this little briefing that they did.
Yeah, and, it was pretty.
It looked. I'll compare it. Battlefield 3 on ultra settings on PC. It did look quite like that. And the one thing that Chris and I were kind of talking about on messages earlier today, that PlayStation games usually look pretty damn awesome when it's first party, PlayStation developers. Yeah. They always are. I mean, Metal Gear Solid 4 still looks better than most games out there. I mean, they really put a lot of skill and dev work, correct dev work of graphics and everything like that. So Killzone Shadowfall looked really good. They showed actual gameplay videos and, guys shooting people and running around and explosions and all that kind of stuff. So it looked pretty cool.
I was saying while we were watching it earlier, I really like the way the HUD looks now. It's not like, a lot of games you'll see a whole bunch of numbers and just crap all over the screen. It's just like a really minimal little thing on the bottom of the screen. Doesn't take up a whole lot of space. Looks really nice.
Right. And then the next game they listed was a racing game called Drive Club. Not much into racing. It was a realistic racing game. Graphics looked, it actually looked more like PlayStation 3 graphics, I'll tell you the truth on that one.
These graphics, they do look, they're pretty, don't get me wrong, but they don't look a whole hell of a lot better than PS3 currently.
Yeah. So. Killzone did, and that was the only one that I saw that looked, next generation graphics, honestly, or PC quality today graphics.
Yeah.
And then we saw a trailer that we didn't really know what it was going on or what it could have been until we saw the very end, and it was Infamous. Was it Second Son?
Yeah.
Another Infamous game, not Infamous 3. It's just Second Son. So
yeah.
Not really sure what's going on with that.
Yeah, not a whole lot of details with that one. It doesn't seem like you're playing as Cole in this one, and the subtitle makes me think that it's like his son or something like that.
Kind of looks like Cole, so it's probably Probably his son, you know,
Yeah.
has to be, or someone.
But then, you know, pretty much every video game character nowadays looks like Cole. That whole
Yeah.
generic shaved head kind of thing. It's everywhere.
Shave head, generic shape, eyes down, chin up.
Oh no, it was chin down, eyes up.
Oh, there we go. Oh, man.
Pretty funny Mega 64 video that came out a while back.
Yeah. Next game was called The Witness. It looked like kind of a indie game, Myst kind of game, isn't it?
Yeah, it's made by the Jonathan Blow, who everybody knows made Braid a few years back.
Braid.
Yeah, but yeah, this game was like
Fantastic
kind of an open world Myst kind of thing, but all the puzzles seemed like it was, you know, draw this line into this certain pattern. So hopefully it is a little more complex than that with the puzzles.
I'm sure it will. They only showed little snippets of each game. So
Yeah. And then Media Molecule, the developers behind Little Big Planet, they showed off their tech demo. They don't have a name for it just yet, but it looked kind of cool. It was like a sculpting kind of thing, and then
it was a creativity game where you could just create anything you wanted: sculpting, acting out little scenes, and gameplay, creating your own games. I guess it was pretty neat.
Yeah, they showed off after that. They had like a dude playing a concert or something, and the whole thing was controlled by the Move controllers, and it was like 5 different people doing different things with their little characters, and it was like, you know, playing with puppets. It's pretty cool looking. So, Capcom showed off their Panta-Ray engine. Looked pretty. It's called Deep Down is the working title for the game they showed off. It looked a little bit like Dark Souls.
Dark Souls, yeah, that's what I got. I mean, they had like a little HUD at the very bottom that had like you know, your sword and potions or whatever. It kind of looked just like Dark Souls.
Yeah, and that was another really, really pretty game. Like next to Killzone, it was probably the best one. I think.
Yeah,
it looked really great.
Definitely.
Yeah, and Square Enix showed off their Luminous engine running on the PS4, and it looked pretty cool. I think they showed pictures of it a while back because the girl character looked pretty familiar. I think it was from that. And they were also teasing a new Final Fantasy game that they're going to be showing off at E3. So Final Fantasy 7, probably not. More likely, more likely, I think it may be Final Fantasy Versus 13.
Maybe. I don't really know if they're going to go that route. It could be something completely new. For the Final Fantasy VII joke you just made, it was actually they said they're not going to make Final Fantasy VII as a remake until they run Square Enix into the ground, and I think they're almost there.
Yeah, I think that ship's already sailed.
But hopefully this game is pretty good. I don't know. We'll see. They also did another live demo of gameplay of Watch Dogs. It looked amazing, and that's going to be on PS3 and PS4. And apparently a lot of other systems as well. It seemed like this current gen, you know, of graphics for the most part. It did look really pretty though on the PS3 or PS4. Sorry.
All the hacking stuff looks just awesome. I think my favorite part of it was when he was running from the cops and then he kind of summoned these little roadblocks to kind of trap the police car and it wrecked.
Yeah, that police car ate it.
Oh man, it was cool.
Here's a little bit of surprise. Blizzard came on the set, and Blizzard is PC only, you know, usually. So they announced Diablo 3 for the PS3 and PS4. And it's going to have living room play, such as co-op, 4 players in the living room sitting on the couch playing together, which is kind of cool. So if you haven't played Diablo 3, maybe you can play it on the console. I really have no interest in it myself. And that's because I already own it on PC, and I'm kind of a little tired of playing it, honestly. But
yeah.
I hope
that it's not just a straight port and they don't add anything new. Because it'd just be disappointing, I think.
I don't think the controllers are going to be very great for it. I just think the custom, the amount of keys that you need on the keyboard just was good, you know. And I don't know if the controller can do all that. Honestly, you're going to be
it might not be too bad. I mean, they put Torchlight on the Xbox, and I think it turned out to be okay for that.
I just don't like dungeon crawlers on consoles. I really don't. I just don't think they fit there, and that's just my own biased opinion right there. But I just don't think they work out. I just like the mouse and keyboard, but it's really cool news for anybody that doesn't have a current gaming PC. So,
and then Activision took the stage and talked about Bungie's Destiny. It's coming out for PS3 and PS4, and not going to be coming out for a while, actually.
Yeah. It's actually in our tech news, and I'll probably restate it. But Bungie's Destiny that just got revealed this week. It's like a sci-fi shooter. And anybody that doesn't know who Bungie is, which you really should, it is the makers of Halo. And having the makers of Halo on PS3 is pretty damn cool, you know?
Yeah, it seems kind of dirty, though.
It does, but I think, you know, if that game, Destiny, doesn't come to PC, I think I may be picking up a PS3 just for that, or a PS4. Because they said the PS4 version is probably going to be the prettiest version, along with the next-gen consoles. So
yeah.
And then also, I mean, they had a lot of just third-party developers coming out, which was awesome. Not many first-party. I was expecting Naughty Good Dog to come out, but they didn't. So that's a little disappointing. But pretty much all third-party support from PS3 and anybody that's supporting these consoles right now are on board with the PS4.
Yep.
And the PS4 is going to be coming out holiday 2013, so start saving.
Yeah, $599 US.
It'll probably be around that, just like you know, PlayStation 3 when it first came out was what, $600.
There's rumors saying that there's going to be two different prices, and it maybe, like I said earlier, it'll be one specific hard drive and then a bigger one for, you know, a little bit more money. The rumors are saying that it's going to be around like between $450 and $499, I believe, which isn't terrible considering you know the PS3's launch. But I don't know. They'd have to. I mean, what they've shown today is pretty impressive, but I think they'd have to do a little bit more to get me to want to buy one on launch day. And even then, you know, given the little bit rocky start that the Wii U had, I kind of would want to just wait a few months and make sure all the bugs are worked out, you know?
Yeah, and make sure that the first line of them aren't breaking or anything like that.
Yeah.
I do worry about this as the accessories they're requiring and have, like they said, they're going to have a camera. Is that all going to come with it? And they haven't really specified that, or, you know, just all the stuff you're going to need. What's compatible? Is any of our PlayStation 3 stuff compatible with the PS4? I mean,
actually, they have said that they are not. I mean, it makes sense because
so I have to buy a completely new. Yeah.
Well, hopefully you won't, but you know, they said that the PS3 is like the PS3 games will not be compatible because it's got the cell processor.
I'm not really worried about that.
Other ones. But
yeah, I'm not really worried about. I'm talking about like controllers and stuff like that because they were talking about PS3 streaming from Gaikai and stuff like that, games like that, and I'm wondering if they're going to be letting us use our PlayStation 3 controllers or anything like that. And I even worry about them trying to force us to buy a new Move controller, honestly. So,
I don't know. Well, it seemed like you know, the controllers they were using in that weird puppet video. It looked like the ones that we already have, and so. I think that it might be okay with the Move. Maybe not the DualShock 3, but I'm pretty sure the Move will probably be compatible with it.
Are you all for this right now, or do you still need a lot more information?
I do still need some more information, like mainly with the like we were saying, the backwards compatibility thing. You know, we're definitely not going to be able to put our PS3 discs in it and have it work. But when he was on stage talking about it, though, he was saying that they want to be able to eventually have PS1, PS2, and PS3 and PS4 games all over the cloud. And so I'm wondering how they're going to pull off. See, what I was hoping that what they would do with the PSP Go when that came out is that you would be able to kind of do some kind of online system where you would put it in, hey, I've got this game, and then you wouldn't have to buy it a second time, you know? Right. I'm hoping that they do something like that with, you know, our current games that we have instead of having to buy them twice, but, you know.
Well, this is just the first part of what Sony's going to be doing. The second part will be, you know, an E3. They might reveal some stuff in between. I doubt it, though. Then we got Xbox coming up, and they're supposed to be having a new system. And also we have Valve posting up what they're going to be doing. We have no idea what Valve's doing, so we're going to see what goes on with the battle of the consoles this year. So it'll be very interesting. And we'll update you guys more on Facebook and YouTube and stuff like that as we find out more information. You know, if you guys don't know it.
Alan's Tech Corner.
Well, this is kind of funny after having a full-on PS4 discussion. You know, I'm a huge PC gamer, and Chris, you're a pretty damn big PC gamer as well now.
Yeah, I have been lately. I haven't really touched the consoles all that much, aside from using Amazon Prime and that kind of thing.
Right. I've had a couple friends come to me and ask, how much does it cost to, make a computer and, a gaming PC and stuff like that. And I'll flat out tell you, it can be cheap, but then it also can be very expensive, mattering on what you get.
Yeah.
Your first task is to, at least save up a decent amount of money for your system, or I did this a couple of years back where I just kind of bought a few parts every month, and I had all my parts by, I think, month 2 or 3, and I was able to build my whole system cheap. I think I built my first system without having to break bank for, I think, under 600. So
yeah.
And this, a lot of people just think that they're going to be building a gaming system or a gaming PC just for gaming, and that's kind of wrong. You don't need, if you're going to be building, if you think that way, maybe you should just stick with consoles. But if you're wanting to do a little bit more with it, such as video editing and normal computer stuff, buying a computer in advance like this will just make you do whatever you want. I mean, there's people that just buy computers for checking Facebook. It's kind of sad, but they do that. I buy a computer for multitasking for a bunch of different options: gaming, media, music, video. I host a media server on my computer, so I can, my whole house can receive videos and stuff like that. And I mean, you really invest a lot of money into it. And so your first step is to save. And you can also buy a lot of the parts without breaking banks, quality parts. I'll go ahead and tell you right now, Intel chips are very expensive, and so are the Intel boards. That's kind of the top of the line stuff. Talking about the i7. I know, Chris, weren't you looking into Intel for a little bit, and then you're like, oh, AMD's a lot cheaper,
Yeah. And I've heard that the Intel chips, they are really expensive, but they are better quality, but I think that the AMD chips are a little bit more compatible with gaming.
Yeah, they are.
Bit,
Intel runs really fast, and you can overclock them pretty easy, and they're pretty well built. But they also have, like, a lot of the i7s have hyper threading, so you can get like 12 cores, but they're not technically physical cores on there. But with AMD systems, you can always build AMD systems cheap, and I always recommend AMD systems for the most part. And Chris and I have proved that you can actually buy an AMD chip and still put in. A lot of people think you can only put ATI cards in AMD systems, and that's not true. You can put a NVIDIA card in an AMD system and have just as good of performance as an Intel system, honestly.
Yeah.
They have a lot of options for sites to buy some of these parts off of, and it's generally what you're going to be needing to build a system is case, power supply, video card, motherboard, CPU, disk drive for the most part. Everyone needs a disk drive. I actually haven't used mine in months, though. So you also need a hard drive and possibly a solid state drive, but solid state drive will actually cost you a lot more. They are fast, though, very fast compared to a regular hard drive. I'd recommend either a 500 or 600 watt power supply, especially if you're getting kind of a standard card, such as the 650 Ti or the 670. I'm trying to think of the regular ATI cards. I'm not really familiar with ATI cards, so I really can't tell too much about that. But majority of the sites I actually go and build computers off of, part by part, is Newegg and TigerDirect, and actually Amazon. Chris, you just ordered some RAM off of Amazon, didn't you?
I did, and Amazon is great if you have an Amazon Prime membership.
Right.
It'll knock the price off of pretty much everything, and in a lot of cases you'll get free shipping too, and so that'll kind of make things a little bit cheaper than, say, Newegg or TigerDirect. So
You can also buy them from suppliers. Like I just bought my EVGA 660 Ti video card from them, and it was actually cheaper to buy it because there was a rebate on it and everything from their site. It was actually cheaper than Newegg and TigerDirect, and they actually boosted up the price a little bit. Oh, and I also got a free game with it. So, now if you're not really wanting to bother building a system piece by piece, which it can be cheaper. It also can be very expensive, mattering what pieces you get. But more or less, it is pretty cheap. I'm not talking console cheap, where you can write. What's the Xbox price right now? It's like what, $250?
Yeah, about $250. Yeah.
Okay. Well, you can still buy that if you're wanting that. But if you're wanting a graphic increase and you're wanting to play games like Planet Side or special games that are not on consoles like MMOs and stuff like that, then you might want to look into doing a PC. But there's also sites like, I had a couple friends actually go to this one site called iBuyPower, and it's a company that will build your PC, but you can pick part by part and how cheap you want it and what parts you want to do, and it'll give you a rating on the side of what performance of gaming you can play, like ultra, high, mid, low. Low is the cheapest model, and you can get one of those systems for like $400, $500, base model stuff that you can upgrade yourself. And then you also have the retailers like Best Buy and everything. But a lot of times I see when I go to Best Buy, their gaming PCs they charge over $1,000 for a card that's like 4 years old in it, a processor that's just a quad processor, and I could have built everything for $400 on that system, and they're charging $1,000 up there.
Yeah, whatever you do, don't buy like a pre-built gaming PC from Best Buy or Alienware, God forbid. With Alienware especially, you're paying for the name and a picture of an alien on your computer. So,
yay!
Yeah, it's just way overpriced, and it's a lot cheaper. And in most cases, you'll get better parts for your money, and you'll actually learn something building it by yourself.
You can. I posted this on our Facebook. It was like comparing the PS3 components and everything. You can build a PC that's just like the PS4, give or take, without all the real specs and everything like that, like the specs that were leaked. Roughly 600 or a little bit under. And that's a pretty damn good system, actually. It was PC Gamer built it, and it can run all modern games right now. It can run Crysis on high settings and stuff like that. And it has an 8-core processor and everything like that. So you can build a system pretty cheap as long as you're going to actually utilize it and do more things with it other than just gaming. Most people buy PCs because it's everything all in one. Some people just buy just for gaming and they upgrade and go crazy. You can have 3 video cards in your system and it can cost you an arm and a leg. I know Nvidia just announced their Nvidia Titan, and it's priced at $1,000 right now, which is ridiculous. But it's the most powerful video card on the market, and someone's already said they were going to buy three cards of those. That's $3,000.
Well, they damn better be the most powerful for $1,000. Good Lord.
I don't go up that high. I actually just bought a video card, the 660 Ti, 3GB for the win model, and it's a very powerful card. I got it for, what was it, $319. That's what it was, with the mail-in rebate. And that's a little much for a card, and you can get nice budget cards that will run. I mean, Chris got a year and a half ago. You got the 450 Ti, or was it the 450 Ti or just the 450?
I think it was just the 450.
But you can run Battlefield at pretty much, high settings, high ultra settings, pretty much. Yeah. If you could customize, you can customize the NVIDIA settings in there too to make it run better as well. But I mean, you can build a budget PC. Now, if you're not wanting to deal with buying piece by piece, like I was saying, iBuyPower is probably your best bet. You can build, a lot of their stuff is about $1,000 for everything, and you're also paying them for labor and stuff like that. But it's something to look into, and building a PC is so simple. It's very simple. Chris never built a system in his life, and a couple of years ago, he decided to go for it, and it was probably the easiest thing you've done.
Yeah, it was pretty easy. I mean, I did have a couple of hiccups, with getting it actually working. But, I just read through the books and, looked over everything really carefully. And it turned out that I didn't have something plugged in completely right, and so that's what the problem was. So, I mean, there is reading involved. You got to make sure you're paying attention, or you could potentially, fry everything and just be completely SOL. But
it's very hard to even do that, though. It's like they give you vivid instructions to follow, and there's no issues with it, not at all.
Yeah.
Well, let's go and talk about the operating systems for gaming, which Windows 7 is the standard. Most gamers want to use Windows 7. I upgraded to Windows 8, and Windows 8 is fine. There's a little bit of issues, not many compatibility issues, actually none so far. Have you had any issues?
Not quite yet.
Yeah, I think there's a few on some games that I don't own, but I think most devs are actually updating. I can play games that came out in 1998 on Windows 8, so it really doesn't matter. So, with Steam and GOG and some of the other ones, they actually do Mac support, and you can actually game on Mac. I know it's hard to believe, but you can, and you can game pretty well. I mean, my wife plays Guild Wars 2 on her iMac 2010 model, so. I mean, you can game and it still looks good. It runs at 30 frames per second, not 60, but it still runs pretty good. But, Mac, you have no custom settings. You can build your own Mac system with the right parts, mostly Intel parts. But you can build your own Mac system and you can game on there. But mostly gaming for PC is going to be Windows 7 and Windows 8. Now, Steam is kind of actually... or Valve rather. We talked about this earlier about the Valve, Steam box that's going to be coming out. They talked about it being Linux based, so you have an option of Linux based systems, and also you can load Windows 7 or Windows 8 on it as well if you really want to, since it's going to be doing that. But majority of that is going to be, Linux. So Linux has gaming possibilities, and a lot of developers are jumping on that. And you can build your system that you just built, let's say off of iBuyPower or Newegg or TigerDirect, depending if you actually wanted to put piece by piece or have somebody else build it. You could load Linux on there and it will game. It will. It utilizes all drivers from NVIDIA and ATI. It used to not, but now it does. So that's an option for gaming as well. But most people just stick with the Windows operating system. It's been that way for a while. So
yeah.
But yeah, if you're not really wanting to do that, you can, like I said, you can still. No one's forcing you to go to computers. It's just sometimes it can be a little more convenient. Chris and I like consoles and computers, so it's just it all matters, I guess, how much money you want to spend and how much time you want to put into stuff,
Yeah. When I completely rebuilt my computer a couple of years ago, it really was not that bad. It was probably about $600-700, I think, because I pretty much rebuilt the entire thing from scratch. New motherboard, like everything.
And you bought a monitor, didn't you, too, as well?
I bought the monitor before I left for Korea. I bought all my stuff when I was in Korea, and it was about $600-700, and just rebuilt everything completely. And really, the RAM that I just put in today is the first thing I've done in a couple of years that's really new with it. I'm looking into buying a new car pretty soon, but I can run everything pretty decently.
Yeah. I just upgraded, like I said, off to a 660 Ti, and I was running a 460. I was able to run everything on Ultra pretty much. A Battlefield 3, I had to dwindle into high definition. And this is where my OCD comes. You could actually sit on that 460 card and even your 450 card, Chris, and put it on medium settings and be happy for the next few years, actually, still. It could still run most games. And one of our friends had a GeForce 8800 card, I think, or something like that, and it was still running most games for the most part. And I think a few of the other NVIDIA cards were just high end, and a lot of developers still utilize it because it was based off of old technology that the consoles were still running. So I mean, you can still keep a gaming PC, and if you want to constantly upgrade like I do, I'm very OCD, you end up spending more money. If you're just wanting to buy a straight up PC gaming console and not have to worry about upgrading for the next 4 years, you can do that as well. You just might have to have it high end at first, and then it kind of goes down to medium, console range, honestly,
Yeah, before I upgraded, I had mine for probably 5 or 6 years. I want to say.
Yeah.
Like when I got my stuff, I had a GeForce 7600, I think, and then when I got that was the top of the line card, I think.
Right.
And so you can tell how long I had that damn thing.
But I mean,
so you can definitely keep a system for a long time.
Me, I like to do this. I buy for the future. I buy for the future of gaming. I'm going to buy something that I don't have to upgrade for a very long time. And then when I have an option in the actual money pool to upgrade, let's say a video card or a CPU chip or anything like that, I'll do it, just so I can keep in advance, and also so I can do tech reviews and hardware reviews and stuff like that of the latest new stuff. And I'm always been that kind of way where I have to always keep up to date. And a lot of people just kind of wait till their computer die and everything like that. We can also talk on another podcast, since we're kind of running low on time, how to correctly clean your system and what you should be using for, keeping your system safe and healthy. And with Windows 8, you have a lot of possibilities of restoring without any issues or anything like that. So we can actually probably do that maybe on the next podcast, Chris, if you want. Kind of
possibly.
Go down I'm going to be trying to do a lot of maybe some YouTube videos kind of discussing more about computer building. Maybe you guys, if you want to ask me anymore, I'm not a complete guru at it, but I just do it as a hobby myself. But look into it. It's definitely worth learning. Try not to be part of the society that doesn't want to learn it. Learn how to work a PC. Learn how to build it. Learn your own system. Once you build one, you'll never go back, honestly. So.
So apparently it's the year of Luigi for Nintendo this year. A lot of Luigi-centric games, and I'm pretty excited about it. I actually like Luigi more than Mario. Mm. But new Luigi's Mansion, Dark Moon, is coming out for 3DS.
Which has already been announced before.
Yeah.
It's just they're kind of rehashing it and making sure to pump you up for it. So
yeah, I think that they're saying that these are the games that are coming out this year. So year of Luigi, but Luigi's Mansion, Dark Moon for 3DS, Mario and Luigi Dream Team. I love the Mario and Luigi series ever since Superstar Saga. There's just great RPGs. They're just like the Super Mario RPG on the what's it called, Super Nintendo. Mm-hmm. Cool stuff. Hilarious dialogue too. New Super Luigi U. It's a DLC expansion for the new Super Mario Brothers U on the Wii U.
And they said it was going to be this not the same world, but the same map layout as the Super Mario world map. But you're playing as Luigi, but completely different levels. It's like a huge expansion. It's not even
basically it's the entire game as Luigi and with new stuff.
I'm guessing it's going to be like $20 at most. So, I mean, that's pretty good if you're going to be playing a whole new game, different puzzles. And they were talking about creating new levels, and this is a way of doing it too. So,
yeah. Mario Golf World Tour is also coming out
for 3DS.
Yeah.
Other 3DS games they announced at Nintendo Direct was Donkey Kong Country Returns 3D, and that was on the Wii, I believe. And then also Lego City Undercover: The Chase. It is the prequel to Lego City Undercover, the Wii U game. And then they announced, I'm pretty excited about this. My wife is definitely very excited about this. They're going to be putting Animal Crossing New Leaf out. They've always been saying it's going to be coming to the United States sometime soon, and they finally gave a date, June 9th. That's pretty soon, actually. And a lot of people are very excited for it, And
I know what my wife's going to want for her birthday now. That's 2 days after.
Yeah. Not only that, they kind of elaborate. They wanted to give Miiverse a kind of an upgrade, and they added a Zelda Miiverse community. So now people can talk about Zelda and draw pictures and, do crazy things and gossip. Oh, did you hear about Sheik? Oh, no. So that's a pretty cool, interesting little twist they added. A little surprise, I guess.
Yeah, and then Wii Street U, is going to be free for a limited time on the Wii U eShop. It's basically Google Maps. I think they showed it off at E3 last year with the.
Have you tried it out
on the pad? And you kind of, I haven't, but have you tried it out?
Yeah, I have tried it out. It was very cool. It was the best Google Maps I've ever used. It really is. Check it out. It's free and it's worth. I went to my old house where my parents live, and you could walk around there, go to the streets, and some of the buildings actually let Google go in their shops and stuff like that. And you can go in and different areas. It has different sound effects and stuff like that too. You can do at certain areas. There's even a portion where you can go near. I guess I forgot what ocean it was, but you could actually go into an underwater adventure with it. Of Google Maps. It was pretty fantastic. But the Wii U application of it is probably the best one, even compared to like all the Google apps. It's honestly, I think it's the best one. It feels a lot more real than sitting at a computer looking at it. But definitely check that one out.
Another news. Speaking of Google, by the way, they just released a new video for their AR glasses, and they're now called Glass. Not Google goggles, not Google Glass, just simply Glass. And
it looks amazing. I'm very excited for this. It now they're offering trials of it, the dev kits and everything like that, and you tweet or you go on Google Plus and put in the little information, and you might be selected for it. But to get the dev kit, you have to pay I think $1,500 for it. Pretty expensive.
Wow.
That's not the set price of the glasses though.
Yeah.
So I'm guessing. I'm really hoping it's about roughly $200. I'll dump $200 on that. Honestly, I will. I will. And if adding the enjoyment is like having an Android phone, I would probably upgrade for an Android phone just to wear those glasses. Honestly.
Yeah. I want some that either look like a Scouter from Dragon Ball Z or the weird visor thing that Geordi LaForge from Star Trek has. I would walk around with that stuff.
Yeah, you would. Looks pretty cool, though. And then we also, Bungie, like we said earlier in the PlayStation topic, they announced that Destiny is going to be coming out, published by Activision. It's not going to be coming out till 2014, apparently. It doesn't look like it's coming out in 2013, so...
Yeah. Nintendo is confirmed to be attending Gamescom this year. They actually missed last year's Gamescom, and
so did Microsoft actually. So
they did, didn't they?
Reminder: F-Zero just came out on the Wii U eShop for 30 cents, and this is part of their 30-cent games each month. And the last one was Balloon Fight, so that's over now. Now you have to buy that for I don't know the price of it, but probably like $1 or $2. But yeah, F-Zero, Super Nintendo game. It just came out, and it's going to be available until March 21st.
Big news for me. I'm so excited. Phantasy Star Online 2 is releasing on the Vita, but just in Japan for February 28th. And there's no release date yet for North America or any other place besides Japan. So Sega, need to get your stuff together. Need to have this game. And then... some PS3 owners are going to be getting some free money, or may already have some free money. They're getting, for PSN, they're getting a free $10 credit to spend on whatever. So check your PlayStation 3. You might actually have some money in there.
Did you check yours?
I haven't yet, but I might be doing that tonight.
I checked mine, and I didn't get anything. If you get something, I'm going to be mad.
I recently won a free year of PlayStation Plus through, I think it was GamesBeat or something on some Twitter giveaway. And so I can see why you'd be pretty mad if I got some free $10.
Yep. What would you buy with that $10, Chris?
I don't know. Maybe $10 worth of avatars or something.
Really?
just to make you mad that I'd be wasting money on something stupid like that.
I'd be so mad. So mad.
We also have another PS Plus update for you. Vanquish has just gotten added, and I have it, and I haven't played it just yet, but I hear it's pretty awesome. And also, Mega Man Maverick Hunter X on the PSP is going to be free, which is a pretty awesome remake of the first Mega Man X. You should definitely check it out if you got a PSP. And also, Dust 514, the first-person shooter spin-off from EVE Online, which I didn't really care for the beta when I played it. But there's a starter pack for it now. And they also just put Closure on there. I think it's some kind of puzzle game. And also Urban Trial Freestyle, which I guess that's kind of like Trials HD. Sounds like from the title, but it's 20% off for right now. For PS3, it's $11.99, and for the Vita version, it's $7.99.
Well, what are you gonna do this weekend, man?
I think the both of us are going to be playing some Resident Evil 5 on Steam.
Nah, we've already played that. We've already played that and ran it into the ground, and then beat it.
But we got to make some videos for it.
Yeah, we got a free copy with a pre-order of Resident Evil 6 on PC, which I'm really excited for. So we're gonna kind of lead up on our YouTube channel with Resident Evil 5 footage of us being ridiculous, and we may actually put some mods on there too to kind of make it a little more enjoyable for us because we've already ran through the game a couple times. So
yeah, should be a good time.
But yeah, I mean, we got that. I'm going to be I got so many games to play. I just got Crysis 3 and Dead Space 3. And what was that game that I forgot about on PlayStation 3? Ni no Kuni. Yeah, Japanese game. I bought that. I have not played hardly any of it. Good game, very good game. But I'm really stuck on Crysis 3 right now. That game is fantastic looking with my new video card. Oh my god. The first scene looked like there was this rainstorm. It looked so real. I was just like, am I playing in real life? I think I'm playing real life.
Yeah, but I do want to get Crysis 3. Like you keep seeing the commercials on TV, and they're playing ZZ Top's Sharp Dressed Man, and it's just funny. He's looking at the camera and looking away from the helicopter and doing the Hawkeye shot from the Avengers movie, just not looking at it and looking all cool with swagger.
Yeah, on top of that, I got Dead Space 3. I just did a video on Dead Space 3 for our channel, and I'm going to plan on uploading more videos as we go along. And Chris, I think, said he was going to be doing that too.
Yeah. I've been kicking around some ideas for some video reviews. I want to start doing reviews of the free-to-play MMOs that are out now, mostly the ones that are on Steam. I've downloaded a whole bunch of games, and they've just kind of been sitting there. I haven't had the time to play them and make the videos that I want to do, but I do eventually want to get started on that. I think it'll be a good time.
I don't know if we're going to do a bunch of videos this weekend. I know I'll probably get one Resident Evil 5 video out this weekend because we're going to be playing that, and I'll probably do a Crysis one as well, just to show off how pretty it is. But we're definitely going to be doing that. We're also planning on doing maybe some Google Hangout. I want to say podcasts, more like discussions with people and ourselves, and just little fun little Google Hangout recordings that we're going to be uploading. And they're also going to be live online, and I'll update you guys on Twitter and also Facebook about when we're going to be doing a live recording of a discussion or something like on there. It may be next week. It matters on time for us, but we'll get that going. So that's the end of the show. You can follow me on Twitter. I'm mbufftes.
And I'm at CStewTES.
You can also like us on Facebook, subscribe to our iTunes and YouTube accounts, and join our Steam group. And, game with us. Thanks everyone for listening, and we'll see you next time. Hope you enjoyed today's podcast, and if you have any rants, comments, or questions, please email me at techearthsyndicate@gmail.com. And again, that is techearthsyndicate@gmail.com. Until next time, this is Technical Earth Syndicate signing off.